Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday, and thank you for joining us today for our final informational town hall. Next week, we're going to have a very special town hall where we're going to be celebrating our seniors. So please go to the JCPS Family Engagement Facebook page, which is where you should be right now, and go to the events and register to celebrate your senior next Thursday. This Thursday, what we are celebrating is summer learning activities. And I'm going to start off by introducing to you our wonderful panel. We have Chrystal Hawkins, who is our Family Engagement Specialist for JCPS. We have Monica Stewart, who is the Program Manager for AMPT. We have Amanda Free, who is the Digital Content Manager for Wonderopolis and other properties at National Center for Families Learning. And they are going to share with us some wonderful virtual summer learning opportunities that are taking place within their organizations. So what we would like for you all to do is to put your questions, your comments in the comment section. If you know of any summer virtual learning opportunities going on, share those with us so that we can share them with the other thousands of families within JCPS. And we just are very excited to talk to you today. So I want to kick it off and hand it over to Chrystal. Do you want to say a few words, or we can go straight to Monica?
Well, we can definitely turn over to Monica in a second, but I just want to thank everybody for joining in. Hello, family. Hello, everyone on Facebook. And just thank you for sending any questions that you have about summer programs. Also, we are a family of sharing. So again, we are open for if anyone wants to share some fun things you plan to do with your family over the summer, especially being creative with our current situation. If you want to share some tips and strategies or some websites that you have found, definitely feel free to do that. I'm going to share some awesome tools that I've seen online, but also feel free to post some things in the chat and give us some great questions too. So I will turn it over to Monica.
Thank you so much, Chrystal. We're excited to be here today. So I'm the program manager with Academy of Music Production, Education and Development, or AMPT. We are a free music program from students anywhere from 8 to a senior in high school, where they can learn pretty much any instrument: drums, piano, audio production, guitar, instruments. They can learn pretty much any instrument. With the program, we we have an academic counselor on staff that tracks their grades to make sure there's no issues with grades, attendance, or behavior. If for any reason she sees a concern, she works with the student and the family and the school to ensure that they get back on track to keep their grades up and behavior up. There's no fee for the classes. Their way to give back is to keep up the grades and attendance and behavior. They perform all across the city. They've performed in New Orleans with the Preservation Band. And they have also, we also started a new component in the fall, which, with the pandemic going on, we'll have to see how that goes for this year. We probably won't be able to do that this year, but we had 10 students go to Belize where they taught and learned music. We also have a family program, which is how we got connected to NCFL. We teach technical classes and do career and professional development, and also PAC time, which is parent and child together time, where we give essential skills on how parents can be strategic in helping at home, and especially during this pandemic, resources that they would need for them to succeed at home. So we have started our music classes online and our technical classes online. And through the pandemic, we've been able to provide resources to our families on a weekly basis. So it's been great. As far as meals, we were able to distribute Kroger cards to a lot of our families. We've also been distributing COVID-19 art packages. So we delivered art packages to all of our students. They could make a time capsule to kind of reflect on what happened during this COVID crisis, and they can look back in a year and say, hey, how have things changed since the whole pandemic? They were also able to make an artwork project that they could put in their window to encourage their neighbors through this pandemic, and put an encouraging message on their rainbow. So they're able to also give back to their community while they're taking their online classes. So it's been really great. We've also had to do our Dreammaker Awards, which is our annual fundraiser event online. So we'll be acknowledging our seniors and some community leaders on June the 6th. So that's a great opportunity to give back to the community and also acknowledge our seniors with scholarship, laptop, and present them with an award.
Wow, tons of
Oh my
great
goodness.
opportunity.
Whoa, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's exciting.
Hey, Monica, where do they go to sign up? Where do they go for more information?
Yes, you can go to www.ampedlouisville.org to get more information about our program, and we can connect you to the classes. We will also be having summer camps, so if you go out to our website, we'll have the dates up there probably by next week of the two camp times. There will be two-week online camp sessions. So if you go out to the website, you can go ahead and get pre-registered, and we can get that information to you. And you can also send an email to info@ampedlouisville.org.
Okay, and we'll be typing all that information in our comment section too.
And
So
Monica, I have a quick question about, so if I've never played an instrument, would I be able to participate, like even at home or virtually? How does that work?
Yes, so there are no prerequisites for the music program. We go from ground zero, teach all the skills necessary to learn notes, theory, and actual technique.
And
is
so
there
would that be like, so, because I'm trying to envision this, because honestly, this sounds amazing. And I've like, you know, I may even, you might see me creeping in now. So like,
Sure.
would I need to have, like, what if I don't have like an instrument at home? Does that limit me? Or like, if I don't have anything at home, does that matter?
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't discuss that during my presentation. We actually, for those who didn't have instruments at home, we were able to provide instruments that we usually utilize during classes to our students. So, you know, if they informed us, hey, I take piano, but I don't have a piano at home, we were able to provide a keyboard. Same thing with a guitar. With the drums, you know, we couldn't do a drum set for every child, but we did get drum kits for them to be able to use at home during this time.
That is awesome.
Is there a limit to the number of kids you're accepting, or should they hurry up and sign up?
Yes, we do usually have a limit with, especially with online, we want to kind of do some of those one-on-one times. So we are looking probably at 30 students for each 2-week session. And please, if you, for any reason, are not able to get into a summer camp, we will be starting back in the fall. Even if we have to start with online classes, we will have we will start our fall quarter in August. So please feel free to still get in touch with us, even if you're unable to sign up for the summer classes.
And Monica, you may have already said this, but we have Taryn joining us, who is interested in opportunities for a 7-year-old. So what are the age ranges again?
The ranges are from 8 to a senior in high school, but please just go ahead and get on our contact list, and that way when he turns 8, we can reach out and you can still follow up when he does turn 8, when your child turns 8, so we can get him signed up.
Great. So if anybody watching has any questions for Monica, please put them in the comment section, or again, if you want to share about any virtual summer learning opportunities that you know about, please share those with our other families. And now I'm thrilled to introduce to you Amanda Free from National Center for Families Learning. Hi, Amanda.
Hi there. Thank you so much, Cindy. So my name is Amanda, and I am the Digital Content Manager at the National Center for Families Learning. And I'm really excited today to give you all a peek into Wonderopolis, which is one of NCFL's digital properties. Wonderopolis is a place where we publish high-interest informational texts for kids. They're perfect for kids grades 4 through 8. And our content is actually inspired by our readers. So it's a great place to send kids to help them.
Hey, I have a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's high informational text? Like what is that?
So high interest informational text. So they're because they're inspired by our readers. So let me go ahead and share my screen so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, can everybody see the home page? All right, excellent. So today's wonder that we published is who started NASA? And that was a question that was actually asked by a reader. So if you have a child who loves to ask questions about the world, is always curious, this is a great place to send them because they can actually tell us what they're wondering, ask their question and get it answered by the website. So just to take a peek into what's included in these texts, today, who started NASA? I would have been really into this as a kid because I was all about space. But a reader can scroll through, they have a chance to interact with a video, they can take a look at several different images in our media gallery, and then they have about a 500-word text that they can read about this topic that includes vocabulary words. So if you see these words that are highlighted throughout the text, you just hover over those to get the definition. It also includes links to related texts about just related topics that are similar to the topic of this wonder. It also includes a short comprehension quiz that you can take to actually test your reading and to kind of prompt you to go back into the text if you are not sure about an answer. And then at the bottom, for kids who are maybe just really into this topic, they can take some time to extend their learning with one of these fun activities at the bottom that we encourage them to do with a family member. If we scroll back up, one more thing I want to show you guys. So if you have a student, I mentioned that these are ideal for students in grades 4 through 8 due to the reading level. But if you have a student who maybe is a little bit younger, a great option for them is to click on this listen button. That actually launches Immersive Reader, which has a lot of different options to make the text a little more accessible for younger kids. So you can hear the text read out loud, which is great for kids who are maybe just a little bit younger. Some other options, you can actually come down here and translate the text. So if you are an English learner and you would prefer to maybe read this text in Spanish, you can actually translate it by word or by document. So if I translate by word, then if I'm reading it in English and I just want to know what that word means in my home language, then I just click on the word to see the word in the language that I chose, as well as a couple of pictures to tell me what it means. You can also translate the entire document, and you can even listen as it's read out loud to you in that language as well. So that's a great way to offer more accessibility to Wonderopolis for kids who are maybe a little bit younger or who are learning English and would just really need those supports to really understand what the text says. But one more thing I wanted to show you guys is this really awesome summer learning resource that we offer called Camp Wonderopolis. And Camp Wonderopolis is just, it's just full of literacy building and STEAM related activities for kids and families to engage in over the summer months. It was actually designed to help prevent summer slide. So it's a great option for kids who just want to maintain that great knowledge that they got during the school year and go into the next year ready to keep learning. So we actually have 5 different camp options. These are completely free. To get to Camp Wonderopolis, you would go to camp.wonderopolis.org, or you can just click on camp from the Wonderopolis homepage. As you can see, they do require a sign up, but that registration is totally free. And as you'll see, you can sign up. So students can sign up as campers to engage with Camp Wonderopolis, and parents, teachers, caregivers can sign up as counselors. And so they can actually track their students or their children's progress as they make their way through the camp as well, which is a great option. So since we're here with our friends from AMPed, I think that I'll give you a look into Symphony of Wonders, which is a music-themed camp. I think it's actually our most recent camp that we put up. But inside each camp, you will find 6 different tracks. So this is a great option if you're looking for a way to give your kids or your students a lot of choice and control over what they're learning, because there is just full of different options. So for me, I'm pretty interested in science and math, so I'm going to start with the Amped Up track. And inside the track, I have even more choices because each track comes with 7 different lessons, and I can actually hover over those if I want to see what each lesson covers. And it comes with a maker activity. So to just take a quick look into what each lesson offers, I'm just going to click on that. So this lesson is all about what makes sounds louder. So it covers things like frequency, wavelength, as you can see, intensity, amplitude. So you can watch a quick video, you can read a short informational text about this topic, learn about wavelengths, vibrations, volume. There are lots of visual supports to aid comprehension. I think you even learn about the workings of the ear and how we actually hear music, which is pretty cool. And then if you keep scrolling, after you read, you have even more learning options. So you can spin the Wonder Wheel, which is a vocabulary activity. So if I spin the wheel, stop the wheel, it'll pull up a word that was included in the text that I just read, and it gives me the definition. And then you can also see the Wonder card that you earned. So you earn a Wonder card for each lesson that you access. And these Wonder cards come with a short comprehension quiz, so kids can check their understanding after they read, and go back into the text to look for answers. And then say if your child was just really into this topic, really interested, you can keep it going and extend their learning even further with 3 additional activities that you can do together as a family at home. So there are 7 of these lessons in each track, and there are 6 tracks, and there are 5 camps. So there's just a ton of content for kids to choose from. There's just lots of stuff for them to do. And then the maker activities are always STEAM inspired, related to science, technology, etc. And so one thing I really like about our maker activities is that, as you can see in this one, supply list is pretty basic. Most people can find the supplies around their home, or borrow them from another family. And it comes with some really detailed, specific directions for carrying out a short experiment or maybe creating a craft together. And then at the end, it actually explains the science or the concept behind what happened. So if I've done this, I think it's called musical glasses. Yeah, so if I do the musical glasses activity, I play music on my glasses, and then I want to know why that happened, then I can read a little bit more about what actually causes the sound that I heard, which is great. So that's kind of an overview of just this one track inside this one camp. And one last thing that I want to show you inside of the camp. So each camper can visit their dashboard. And of course, I'm signed in as a camper, so this is what it would look like for students. And this is where they can track their progress. As you can see, I've spent quite a bit of time inside this camp. So it can show me which tracks I have taken part in, how many lessons I have completed. This is where you can actually view your collection of Wonder cards. So it'll show you how many Wonder cards you have accumulated by taking part in the different lessons. And from a counselor's point of view, so if you're a parent or a teacher who signed up for Camp Wonderopolis and added your students or your children as your campers, then from your side, this is what it'll look like. You can actually, oh, where did it go? There it is. All right, so you can actually track those campers' progress from your dashboard. So you'll have your list of campers, and then there's a different color for each camp track. And you can see how many lessons they've completed, how many cards that they've collected. So it's just a great way to keep track of what your kids are learning, see which camps and which tracks they were most interested in, and really engage with them at home over the summer. So again, this is at camp.wonderopolis.org. It's totally free to sign up. We're really happy to be able to offer this as a free resource for families over the summer. And please feel free, if we have any questions, I can absolutely answer those, or just feel free to reach out to me. And I guess that's all I have to say about this one.
So I have a question, when they're like building their own city, I mean, do they get to actually create their own city on here?
Well, let's see. Let's go to it. That was the Wonderosity, right? Let's see.
And I ask because we've been talking to a lot of families who are talking about like the creative side of their kids, and how they want to create and explore and just have opportunities to do hands-on things.
Let's see, I'm just looking through the Camp Wonderosity. So there are so many different maker activities where kids can build various things. So in this activity, I guess you're not building a city, but you are building a simple machine that could be used on a job site. And so I think in this activity, you build a small pulley, which is pretty cool. So that's a really good kind of engineering focused activity. Let's see, in this one, it looks like in this one, so you're actually looking at famous buildings throughout history, probably learning a little bit about architecture and building a city. So yeah, so in this maker activity, forgot which one so this is in the Wonder Studio within Camp Wonderosity. You can actually go in, you do need to collect some cardboard, looks like a little bit of clay, some tape, and out of those materials you can build your own buildings, build bridges. It's really up to you, and that's the good part about this is kids in this maker activity could build one building or build an entire city. So there's a lot of choice involved. So it depends on how deeply they want to get into it.
That's a lot of resources and different pathways that can take kids into many different directions. And it looks like there was a little bit of something for everybody. And I love that it's also connected to the music side. And so the AMPed connection is amazing too. Monica, did you have anything that you wanted to share? Did that spur any more thoughts for you?
Actually at AMP, we've utilized Wonderopolis during some of our pack time activities, so our students really enjoy the Wonderopolis site.
Great, that's good to hear.
Yeah, AMPed is a wonderful part. We have so many wonderful partners in our city that are working with families, working with JCPS, and we'll be posting information about these in our links below in the comment section below. The Kentucky Department of Education also has listed several resources, and Chrystal, did you want to share your screen to show that, or?
Yeah, sure. I can share my screen. I think one thing for families right now is sometimes trying to figure out, like, where do I even start? You know, I know there are things everywhere. Where do I start? And as a parent myself, I've been in the same boat of like, okay, I'm getting so many things, you know, where's a good place to start? So I will say that coming soon, there's going to be an awesome JCPS announcement about a lot of Louisville and JCPS opportunities, but I'm very happy to see the KDE has also offered a really comprehensive list on some things to go. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to explore together, parents, families, where do we start? I'm going to show, so basically the first thing that you'll probably do is, let's make sure we can all see this. Can we all see my screen that says Google? So does anyone love Google like I love Google? I love to Google everything. So, so basically, to find this resource, I went to Google. So you'll want to put in Google just KDE Summer Support. So KDE Summer Support. You put that in Google and it's the first link that pops up. Thank you, Jesus, because we don't need all those links. So it's the first link that pops up. Click on it. And it's going to take you to KDE's website. So you're really going to scroll down here. And I'm just going to throw this out there. These links are super small, but they're packed with a lot of information. So when you see all the words on there, don't let it distract you. These little links have a lot of really amazing stuff in them. So the first thing I want to pop out or point out is the Summer Food Service Program. So you know what? These are weird times, they're uncertain times, but no one right now should go without necessities like food. So that's a really important link right there. Another thing I wanted to point out is if anyone wants to find a food site, I don't care where you are in Kentucky, and I actually saw this by checking out this link. All you need to do is text food to 877-877. So food. If you text food to 877-877, you will be linked to a feeding site near you anywhere in Kentucky. So I think that's a wonderful partnership, a wonderful resource that they have there. If you're concerned about any of your kiddos, families that you work with, and you're like, I don't know, if they're going to be able to make sure they have food right now, you can put in their address. And then if you text food to 877-877, put in their address, it can tell you the closest feeding site. So that was a really amazing thing. So there's information about school and public libraries. I know that's an important link. And I'm going to check that out because right now, even though we can't go to the library, a lot of our libraries have online resources that you can use. So, just knowing that there are things that you can access anywhere. So it tells you where you can find a library and anywhere in Kentucky. But another thing I want to point out, I'm going to go back to those beautiful links that we have. And my two favorite ones on there are going to be literacy resources and math resources. So basically literacy resources. We know our kids cannot be successful without knowing how to read. We have to make sure that our kids are reading and they are looking at books and they are staying in this work. So if you go on the literacy resources, there are so many links to all the things that you can work on with your kid. Look what's on there. It's Wonderopolis. So I love sync audiobooks for teens. So I'm going to be completely real with you all. My wonderful husband yelled at my little boy and said, you need to go outside. I said, or he can listen to an audiobook. So there's a lot of, these are all free resources that you can use. So don't worry about, I don't have the money for it. We can't, use this right now. One amazing link that I want to point out is the Kentucky Virtual Library. Now, when I worked many moons ago, when I worked with high school seniors to help them prepare for college, I would use this website to look at different ACT prep. If you want to look at GED prep, there are a lot of, for college and adult learners, for students, There are a lot of different practice tests, college resources. There are so many things that are just right at the tip of your fingers that you can access for free. So a lot of these tests that you can do practice tests on here. Oh my goodness, the kids are gonna love that, aren't they? Like, why is my mom giving me all these practice tests? Why is my dad giving me all this stuff? Granny, I don't want this right now, but yes, you do, you need it. So that's the virtual library. A lot of really great stuff on there. And I'm gonna go back to that literacy area that we just looked at. National Geographic Kids. I mean, awesome. You can check out a lot of different magazines. You know, I remember you can play games on here. I remember when I was younger, having a magazine was like gold, but you don't need a magazine. You can actually go there just at the tip of your fingers. On your phone, you can go there. So one thing that I thought was really cool on here, if I can find it, they had a personality quiz. So I thought that was hilarious. So anyone have some really, you know, amazing kids at home with some funny personalities? You can actually go to National Geographic's website and just play like, you know, nerd personality test, you know, really funny dinosaur personality quiz. So you can do a lot of cool stuff, you know, learn more about your kid, have them learn about themselves and still learn about science and read, which is awesome. So one more thing that I want to point out on this site, which has a lot of good stuff on it, is we have, with KET, there's a lot of activities for exploring at home, right? So if you're like, okay, we can't leave, we're trying to be safe at home, right? And we may not, you know, have a lot of, you know, access to a lot of different things. This just gives a lot of different things that you can do at home. One thing that stood out to me was a memory book. And I know that I keep all, you know, pictures. I don't know if people keep pictures anymore, but just little things where this is a time where our kids didn't get to finish out the year. They didn't have to, you know, sometimes they didn't get yearbooks, or most of them they didn't get yearbooks. So why not maybe create a memory book of maybe some memories at home right now, some memories of their friends, you know, just a way to really make this a time where they can, you know, still kind of keep pictures and kind of have those opportunities to really think about how important this time is or how important this year has been for them. So I thought that was a really great resource. So as you can see, Cindy, I could just play on this website all day. I mean, really. So if you're wondering, again, if you want to know where do I start, I would just start with where I always start, and that is Google. I love Google. So again, I found all those resources on KDE. I'm going to type it in again, KDE Summer Support. You can put that in your phone. And again, when you go there, it's going to be your first link. And you are going to scroll to those beautiful links right there and find a lot of good information. Again, if you're worried about any other, you know, supports to keep you all, you know, keep your family fed right now, there's some resources. And then also there's just a lot of really good things on there. So I think that'd be a good place to start.
And while you've got your screen up, I wondered if you could go to the Louisville Free Public Library site, lfpl.org.
Yes, I sure can. And you know, you know where I'm gonna start, Cindy. Google.
Google.
So I'm going to Louisville L Free Public Library. So I can put in LFPL, right?
.org.
I'm just gonna put that in Google, see what comes up. It came up. So you can go to Google, just LFPL in Google, Louisville Free Public Library. Look at all that.
So the great people at our local public library are working very hard to turn that summer reading program into a virtual experience. And also the great people behind the cultural passes are turning those into virtual experiences. So everybody's hustling as fast as they can to reimagine things in a virtual space. So we just wanted to show you where that's going to be when it's up and ready to go. But we have, again, lots of great local opportunities going on.
And also, and whenever we, the public library does an amazing job of not only making sure that our kids have resources, but parents, if you're working on, you're trying to get ready to go back to school, or you're taking some classes, or, you're trying to, grow and better yourself in this transition that we're in. The library has so many things that you can access, a lot of different tools. So if you look at the parent section of here, ACT prep, homework help, or just, 1,000 books before kindergarten challenge. So there's a lot of different things that, parents can use on here. I know I've used the research tools on here and a lot of different things that you can just go to. The area that I used before was the test preparation. And I've heard from, oh, look at that. They can get ready for the driving test. Look at that. So Learning Express Library is a site that I've used when working with young people to help them get ready for ACT prep and things like that. So I do believe that, let's look at the contact us. So, because if you can't go to the library, how do you, Cindy, do you know about that? If you can't actually go to the library, how can I get a library card?
No, I haven't done that, but I'm pretty sure that they're letting you do that now.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like they have Ask a Librarian by email. And
Yeah.
so I know they're checking their email. And then there's a phone number right here that you could probably call. So if you're wondering, like, if I don't have a library card, please don't let that stand in your way. I'm sure if you were able to call that number or ask a librarian, you would be able to get a library code where you can access some of these tools online.
Yep, and then there's also tons of virtual field trips that you can take. So outside of the public library as another option for families to do. But before we leave the public library, I do want to point out that the wonderful cultural pass that existed for kids to visit all the local museums and the zoos, those are still going to be in existence, but again, there'll be a virtual visit to those locations. So, and that again will be tied to the library as well. And then one other great, let me see if I can find, and it's kind of tied, Monica talked about it with the tech skills that you're working with the Future of Work program. If you can type in futurelou.com, put it all together, no space. Now let's see if it comes up.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
Put in Future LOU in Google, my best friend.
Yep. And Louisville, through a partnership with Microsoft, has amazing opportunity for free classes. If you scroll down, keep scrolling down to the bottom of
Nice.
data. If you're interested in being a data analyst or a digital marketer or a software engineer or user experience designer, there's all kinds of free classes if you keep scrolling down to the bottom that you can sign up for. And these are all virtual and digital. You just enter in your name. And you'll see there, I think, or maybe but there'll be a list of all kinds of different classes around learning about artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things and how to use digital tools to market your products. So even if you're a middle school or a high school student and you have some entrepreneurial spirit and you want to try to develop your own little business, whether it be grass cutting or painting or whatever your side hustle is for the summer, these are awesome tools for you to go in and learn how to use. And I don't know, Monica, do you want to talk about what you guys are doing with these tools?
Yes, thank you so much. So yes, we are also partnering with the Future of Work initiative. So what we are doing is we're actually offering classes in collaboration with some other organizations across the city to get people into those entry-level IT jobs. With our environment like it is now, especially our work environment, IT is something that's here to stay. So to get people in those positions and get into those higher paying jobs, we are offering classes. The classes are free. So if you were to actually take those particular courses at an established educational institution, that would be thousands of dollars out of your pocket. Where if you get connected to our agencies, you're able to take those classes for free. And those that do well in the programs, there are career opportunities, because we are also pairing up with some organizations in the city that will be taking the people that complete those programs into some entry-level IT positions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at mstewart@amplouisville.org, so we can get you connected to those classes.
Yeah, now is the time, especially if you're looking for things for your older kids to get involved with. These digital skills are going to be very important no matter what type of career that they're interested in. So we are very lucky as a city to have this opportunity for access to these courses for free, and we're thrilled that AMP is a local partner working in this initiative.
Thank you.
All right, well, I don't see any questions that are coming up in the comment section. Do you guys? I don't know if I've got a lag, but at this point, unless you have something else you want to share, I guess, Chrystal, you want to wrap it up with some closing words? And
yeah, I'm really just like, for any families, like, because what we're talking about today was really about, summer learning, right? And I am super excited about what's to come with JCPS, because I know, teachers have been working hard, and our district leaders have been working hard and our community leaders have been working hard. This has been such an amazing collaboration to combine what's happening with the community with what's happening with JCPS. So I know they're wanting to make sure that all things are connected before they share, so that families don't get confused about where do I go next. So I'm really excited about, what's to come with JCPS, and stay tuned. But I do want to just share a couple things from families. We have loved doing some listening sessions with families about what we want from our summer experience. And first of all, I just like to pat families on the back, because getting through NTI, we were all learning as we went along the process. Families had to immediately adapt and motivate their kids and clean up after them and cook and go to work. And it was hard. I mean, it was definitely not an easy experience for everyone. So I just want to first, pat all families on the back for making it through. The school year's almost over. Yes. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I think one thing to think about for summer would be how to use summer to come out on to, how do you look at summer and use this experience to be better after summer than when summer started. And so I think for a lot of families they wanted to think about, is there a schedule I should be on? Is there something I should be doing? Is, there's something I should be working on? And the one thing I want to share with families is now is just a really good time to think about setting an intention, setting a goal, and what would you like to see for your family at the end of this summer that maybe you can work toward. And it can be a goal that's personal to each of your kiddos. It can be a goal that you have professionally, personally. And I would just say, think about a schedule that works for your family, and you all just work towards that goal as a family without a lot of stress, without a lot of guilt or shame if you can't do everything at once. But that would just be my suggestion for families, is to just think about how you can use this summer to grow and come out at the end of this better than where we were when we started, without stress or anything like that. So that's pretty much my closing words. I appreciate our families. I love our families. I appreciate our partners. NCFL Cindy rocks. Whoop, whoop. NCFL rocks, Amped rocks. And
I want to give one last shout out to all of our teachers and our
Yes.
building administrators and our district staff like Chrystal and the many others that have just been working tirelessly to just turn education upside down and create this virtual world for our students. So it has been a massive effort, and we all need to pat ourselves on the back, I think. And
let's
take
all
a
pat
breath.
ourselves back. So Cindy, do you want to share what's coming up next week?
Oh my gosh, next week is going to be a party, you guys. Everybody that has a senior that's graduating next week, you need to go to our Facebook page, JCPS Family Engagement, that you're on right now watching this video, and register on the event to give your senior a shout out. We're going to let you come on the Facebook Live. So we'll send you the link to this Zoom meeting that we're having, and you'll come on, do your celebration, and then we'll bring the next family on. And we did it last week for the kids that we're promoting up from middle school, from elementary to middle and middle to high and pre-K to kindergarten. And it was so much fun. The kids really loved it. So we need to celebrate our kids.
Yes.
So graduating from high school is huge. So we want to shout out to everybody who's graduating.
Absolutely.
So join us next week at 3 o'clock on Thursday. Go to the Facebook page event now and sign up your kids, spread the word. This segment is recorded and will be posted on the Facebook page. So if you want to share this information with other families, it's going to be there. And thank you very much for joining us today. We loved having you. Thank you, Monica at Amped and Amanda at NCFL and Chrystal at JCPS. We're signing off. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Bye.